Hey everybody. Hey, this message today is going to be one that is really impactful to any and everybody. Because no matter what happens, some point in our life, we're all going to face the loss of someone we love. Whether it's a parent, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a family member, we all face it. And it's never easy when we do. But on this video, I want to share some ways in which that we can help people cope with the loss of a loved one. I face loss. I've lost my grandma. I've lost my dad a few years ago. And again, you go down the list, we're all going to lose somebody, but how do you go through it? What do you do? What are some strategies that you can equip yourself with when that happens? And also you can help other people understand. And so again, I'm going to share some different things that I feel is going to be really, really important. So one of the first things that I think when you lose a lost one is you have to kind of address your emotions. Understand this, that, the emotions are humans' way of interacting and engaging in life with other people and other things. And so every emotion that we may face as human beings is totally natural. It's a natural part of our design for us to feel, for us to experience certain emotions based off of how life is going. And so I think one of the first ways that we get over or we cope with, I don't want to say get over because again, it's not about getting over, it's about coping and managing through those moments, through those seasons, is we have to be able to address the emotions. And so when we do that, we have to understand we have to allow ourselves to experience our feelings. Losing someone can be devastating. Losing someone can be very hard. Losing someone can bring up a variety of feelings. And some of those feelings that we may have never felt before, but are only present at that moment. But how many of you guys know that when this happens, it's never at a convenient time? And then the fact that life always still continues to go on. And so the fact that we're feeling what we're feeling during these moments, we have to address those feelings. Especially during the time and in the process and the time after that. So a couple ways that we address our feelings is to allow ourselves to feel what we feel. Give yourself permission to feel that. I see there's several people that when they go through these moments, they find themselves trying to just get over it right away. But I'm here to tell you, to let you know it's okay to grieve. It's okay to have the pain of the person that you lost. It's okay to go through that situation because it's through that. It's just like a difference between the Dead Sea and the Jordan River. The Dead Sea has all this water coming in, all the stimulus coming in, but it doesn't never release it. It stays there, and it stays on the inside. And because it stays there and it doesn't have a circulation, it doesn't have a flow to go through and to go to, everything in there is basically dead. And so it's the same thing with the opposite as the Jordan River. The Jordan River, the water flows in, but because it feeds out into the sea, that means because these situations, these emotions come in, there's somewhere that there's being able to release it. And so there's a natural cycle of life that helps us go through these most treacherous times and tragic times. And so allowing yourself to experience the feelings. The next thing is express your feelings to others. There are certain people that you have to identify. Say, who can I express this to? Who can I express this to, how I'm really feeling and the pain that this is? That's why at a funeral, just being around each other can actually help you overcome the pain. Sometimes it can be very tempting to say, I don't want to go. I don't want to see a person in that state. I want to remember them as they were. And I don't even want to be around people at this time because I don't know if I'm going to hold myself together. But there's a healing part of the process of being able to go and be around other people who are in the same level, the same frequency, the same vibration, feeling some of the same emotion that you're feeling. It's something about being connected that helps you move to the next stages. I'm reminded of a movie. It's actually an animated movie. It's called Inside Out, if you've seen it. And in that movie, there was a scene where, the little girl was really sad. And inside of her head, the movie was about the different personalities inside her head, the different little characters that were all different personalities. There was sadness, there was joy, there was anger, there was all these things. And so what happened was when the little girl went through the toughest time of her life, when she kind of got isolated and she started crying, people thought that Joy, the personality of Joy, was appropriate to come and just cheer her up. But while the girl was sad, when Joy came, Joy couldn't connect to her because she wasn't ready for Joy at the moment. She wasn't ready for those things. But what the movie began to show is that the thing that actually did help her come over was that the personality, the individual, the character of sadness, the one who can empathize and compassionately understand what she was experiencing, was the one that was able to talk to her. And because sadness was able to relate to her, understand what she was going through, sadness was able to walk with her to the next place where she got a chance to understand and come to grips with what happened and understand that life can go on and that you can just move one step at a time at your own pace. And so expressing your feelings to others is going to be the most important thing. So I say to you, when you go through these moments, find out strategically who is it that you can talk to. There are some people that you do have to stay away from at that moment because you're in a very critical situation. I think about when you get a cut, okay, or an abrasion. The first thing they say is, stop the bleeding. But if you just come and put a Band-Aid over an area that's an open wound, then what you're going to do is you can think that the intention of stopping the bleeding or putting a Band-Aid is good, but how many of you know if you don't stop the bleeding, then that situation is going to get worse. And so during this specific time, you got to find who is it that I can express my feelings to. The next thing that helps during this time is finding creative outlets, finding things you can do to help get your mind off of it. Okay, sometimes during those moments, you may have been anticipating the loss of this person or this person transitioning, from life, to eternity, and you may have done everything you can to prepare. But it can happen at these times that you create like a scrapbook, just a little video, photo album. Be creative, like really pour into it, because again, you can still sell it. You'll be able to celebrate their life beyond just their temporary existence here. And so being very creative, because doing these things can actually help you process your emotions. So again, putting together a photo album, putting together a video, okay, writing some letters, okay, whatever it may be. These are all creative outlets that allows you to do what, again, like that Jordan River, release it, so that way that time pass and you're able to express and you're able to experience these emotions you do. The next thing is prepare for the reminders. You got to understand that every time that person who had a birthday is always going to come around, and it's at those moments you can have some very important moments that you remember: an anniversary, a birthday, a certain day that's significant to you, and it's always going to come around. And so typically when the first ones come, when they first time come around, you can find yourself feeling real good the days before, but when those moments come, it's just like a heavy sandbag, and you just feel like it's just uncontrollable sometimes. But as you understand that, you prepare for these reminders, okay? You understand that there are certain sights, there's certain smells, there's certain things that may just trigger it. And the way you can prepare for it is understand that, hey, it's at these times maybe you need to go and talk to somebody. Maybe you need to prepare yourself to not be alone. Maybe you need to prepare yourself to figure out and strategize and say, what can I do? What can I do to cope for this? I know oftentimes, one of the things that I learned to do is during those days, go serve somebody else. During those days, go serve somebody else. Go be a part of something that person really cared about. So you're in essence, you're honoring that person's life by extending that person's life through you to other people. And so as you're preparing for the reminders, you may prepare a date and say, hey, I'm going to do this in honor of them. I'm going to live their life extended through me as it impacts other people. And so understand that that's going to, that can continue to happen. And then also make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. It's very easy when that date come around for you just feel like, I'm going to go into this, I'm going to put this party on for myself. Even a sorrow party. You are releasing and you're saying, hey, today I just want to be left alone. If that's fine, but make sure you're taking care of yourself, because that's important for anything. The next thing that helps you cope with it is to be able to reminisce. Okay, be able to reminisce, because at the end of the day, at the beginning, it's going to feel painful. Your thoughts, because you lost, it's going to feel painful. But just know that as time goes by, the pain becomes lesser and lesser and lesser. Okay? The more you're able to embrace it, and more you're able to give yourself permission to accept the fact of what is. That person is no longer here physically, but that person can forever live with you emotionally and mentally. And you can continue to extend that, you can continue to extend the very virtues, the very vision, the very core, the very principles, the very beliefs, the very mindsets that that person embraced and engulfed. And you can extend it through your life as well. I always say, when my grandma passed away several years ago, it was very hard for my family and very tough. And my mom, she was, you can imagine, she was just so hurt because that was her mom and that was my grandma. But what we realized to do, and I just said to my mom, I said, Mom, let's live in honor of Grandma. Let's live in honor of her. And what did that mean? That meant that let's look at some decisions that we can make now that will allow us to extend our existence, extend our lives, take care of ourselves better, so that way we can honor her with our life. And how many of you guys know that when sometimes things get really tough, when we live our life in dedication of someone and honor someone, it gives us that internal strength, that internal ability to go beyond what we thought we can do. And so understanding this, that you can reminisce about them. You can create an opportunity for you to live beyond this moment and extend it. You can carry them with you as you continue to reminisce. And so another component that I thought is very important is that we have to take care, we talk about taking care of yourself. Take care of your physical needs. What do you still need? You only get one body. You got to take care of it. You got to make sure you're taking care of your body mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. It'd be very tempting to just, try to numb the pain away by drinking, by smoking, by doing something to muse just to get out of there. Because like, man, I just can't get these thoughts out of my head. I just hear. And it's very easy. But my recommendation to you is, if you can make it through those times without the use of the alcohol or the drugs or the substance, then you'll find out that you'll be able to get over it a little bit better, a little bit faster, because you're being present in that moment and you're not masking it. Does it seem like masking is better at those moments? Yeah, it does. Does it seem like drinking and just getting absent-minded from it? Yes, it does. Does it seem like, trying to avoid it seems better? Yes, it does. But here's my encouragement to you. The more you're able to be real in those moments, the more you're able to have self-actualization and self-realization and self-awareness and realize, yeah, this is what I'm feeling. This is what it means to me. And this is what I'm willing to do and I have to do. The more you're able to do that, the more you'll see that you'll be able to come and you'll be able to manage and deal with those situations in a healthy way. And another important thing during those times is you have to get some sleep. Our bodies are only meant, our bodies are only meant to function so much and so long without sleep before our body and our mind starts playing tricks on us. So during those times, if you can't sleep, try to get some naps. I know it may be hard, but try, because you're still trying to maintain work, you're still trying to take care of the family, take care of the kids, take care of yourself, but you got to get some sleep. And so in those situations, it may be tough, okay? But hey, maybe talk to your doctor. Go to your doctor, just let them know, hey, I'm having some tough time sleeping. I remember when I was going through some of the toughest challenges that I had, and it was hard to sleep, I had to talk to a doctor, like, hey man, I need some sleep. I need something to help me sleep, because I know that after a while, with being sleep deprived, I can't make the best decision for anybody. And so taking care of yourself, you may have to take medicine, or you might have to, try to be intentional taking naps. You may have to make sure you shut things down a little early. You may have to drink some tea. You may have to do something so that way you can regulate your body, so that way your body can help you. It can help you, get through this cycle and get through this season. And then the next thing is maintain your schedule. Create a schedule. During that time, you don't feel like doing anything. I've been there, I've done that. But as much as you can try to maintain a schedule, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it. That helps you get through it, because it can be really easy just to sit down and shut down. But you have to continuously keep going. You have to continue to maintain those things while making sure you have an avenue to process these feelings, to process these things out, so that you're not just putting it underneath the rug and hoping it goes away, because it never typically does. When you lose when you have the loss of another one. So again, you may have tried those things that I shared, But then you say, you know what, I've tried them, Donovan, but I don't know else what to do. The pain is so hard. And if that's the case, I recommend that you seek some help. Seek some coaching. Other people call it counseling. You see, I played football for almost half my life, and I realized that we had head coaches who set strategy. We had strength coaches that developed muscle. We had position coaches that developed the position. Well, there may be a time for you to have a mental coach, a health coach, an emotional coach, somebody to help coach you through these moments. Somebody that has the ability to, the qualification to help you through these moments. And so you may have to find out, I need to get some support. And support is not a bad thing. It's actually the best thing, because you're being proactive about how do I deal with this? What are some things I can do to overcome this and be better through this? Because you're giving yourself an opportunity to go through it, and you got some help as well. Another thing you could do is join a support group. Remember, as I said, you're not the only person that is feeling the pain of a loss. And sometimes just walking through this stage with somebody who knows what you've been through and what you're going through, and empathetically, so you don't have to try to defend yourself, so you don't have to try to make excuses for what you're doing and what you're not doing and all that. A support group is there for that reason. And so maybe you need to join a support group. Okay, you don't have to do it because things are, in dire circumstances. You can do it just because you realize that, this is the best thing that you want to do. And more time than likely, I realized that when I was going through my most toughest times, when I helped pour into other people, it just seems that my areas was, my life became even more productive, and I began to receive the healing that I needed because I was there for someone else that experienced some pain as well. And so understanding that, these are some things that we have to do. We have to recognize when we need care. We have to recognize when we need the psychological care. We have to recognize that, wait a minute, I've been in this zone for a while, and my thoughts are not really helping me right now. I'm having some weird thoughts. I'm having some thoughts that's not really productive, that's not really moving me forward. If that's the case too, we need to get some coaching on there. And so again, life is all about living life to the fullness and being very real and present. And part of being real and present and living this life is understanding that we will have to cope with, and we will have to deal with the loss of a loved one. It's never easy. This message today is not an answer all for all, but it's just me sharing some different areas of my life personally that I can relate to. And my hope and my desire is that there's something that you heard, that if and when you experience the loss of your loved ones, you'll be able to refer back to look to say, okay, this is how I grow through this. And this is some advice that can help. And so listen, I hope that you guys encourage this. I'm Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL player, professional life strategist, motivational speaker, coach, and trainer. And it is my desire to serve you with the gifts that I've been given as we're walking this life out and you're living life to the fullness. And so listen, if any of these things encourage you, man, don't forget, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share these messages for some other people as well. Get them connected. Listen, I love you guys. May you be blessed, and may the peace of God that passes all understanding help, heal, and make you whole as you're walking through the toughest challenges and stages of your life. You guys be blessed. Peace.